Okay, I'm very excited to have on the Goldstein on Gelt show, Jen Sincero. She's an author, a speaker. She's also the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, You Are a Badass. And now she has a new book called You Are a Badass at Making Money. I got to ask you, Jen, just what does that mean?
It means that you have the power and the ability to basically create whatever life you desire, including financial.
Yeah. Cool. Well, this is a financial show, so let's figure out how people can do that. It's really a mindset. I guess it's kind of an aggressive mindset that you're teaching people about. How does that help you to make money?
Because when you've made the decision to make money as opposed to the fake decision to make money, that's a mindset shift. And that makes you take different actions around making money than just wanting to or hoping to or, feeling like you can't.
So that sounds good. And in fact, I heard Tony Robbins say that also. He said the first step to change is deciding you want to change. But why does that really help? I mean, let's face it, some people, they're just, let's say, bad investors. How can making the decision to be a good investor all of a sudden make you a good investor?
Because then you will do things outside of your comfort zone to become a better investor. You'll enroll in courses, perhaps, that cost money that you're scared to spend. You'll reach out to people who you're scared to contact because maybe they're too big and fancy for you to contact. You'll stretch yourself and go way outside of your comfort zone on a regular basis to do whatever you need to do to create the financial reality you desire.
That's great, because that sounds very similar to people who are, let's just say, not so good at money as they might be, and it's a habit. They've learned bad habits growing up because their parents were $50,000 in credit card debt and could never make the month, and people this is what becomes the norm, and it's very uncomfortable to say, not only to yourself, but to say to your family, hey, I'm going to, let's say, stop being in debt, or I'm going to start investing even though no one else ever did. I think that leads to the problem that, you're surrounded by people who have negative beliefs about money. What are some of the common beliefs, and how can people change that?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I just want to say that surrounding yourself with people who have a healthy, positive, excited relationship with money is one of the key things you can do to change your financial reality.
So all the listeners are lucky because they got you and me right now.
Exactly.
All right.
So some of the common beliefs are money is the root of all evil. Only people with very questionable morals go after the making of money. Money isn't available to me the way it is to other people. I'm going to have to work really hard and do stuff I hate in order to make money, stuff like that. And the way that you can go about changing it is very, very important. First step is to become aware of what your personal stories are around money. And I have an exercise in You Are a Badass at Making Money where I have you write a letter to money. It sounds really weird, but it's incredibly illuminating.
All right. And people have done this successfully?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you just got to take the time to do it, and you sit down and you write it to money as if it's a person and let all of your feelings and beliefs spill out on that page. And what's so powerful about it is you see staring back at you on the piece of paper a lot of stuff you didn't even realize you believed.
So let me tell you what my experience is in this. In my day job, in real life, I'm not just on the radio. In real life, I'm a financial advisor. And so I get to speak to people all the time about their goals and their dreams. And a big part of this is financial planning for the future. And I would say for people who are inexperienced investors, the hardest thing for them to deal with is just the risk in the market because I like to blame it on the media because, heck, I blame everything on the media. They see that the media talks about this huge, potential bubble and they're afraid it's going to crash. And they remember 10 years ago when things were, looked the same and they don't know what to do. They're so afraid. And the fact is, it's not unreasonable to be afraid, but it stops them from doing anything. Is that kind of a negative belief that people have?
I think fear stops people from doing everything that's good for them. And, there's no end to the list of things we're afraid of, but being successful in any area of your life is acknowledging the fear and moving forward anyway. And I talk a lot in my book about how you need to use fear as your compass instead of as the brick wall that stops you, because fear, one of the beautiful things about being afraid is that it signals that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. And if you want to change your life and if you want to get rich, you got to, and if you want to get rich and you're not rich now, you have to do things that you've never done before. And fear is one of the best indicators that you are doing something you've never done before.
Okay, that's a positive thing. We're talking with Jen Sincero. She wrote the New York Times #1 bestseller, You Are a Badass, and now just came out with You Are a Badass at Making Money, which of course really attracted me to bring her on to the Goldstein on Gelt show because she herself has a great story about becoming successful and facing her fears. And Jen, I want to talk about this fear compass and how it can help you. How does the fear compass help you? I would think that when people see fear, they would run the other way.
Because we like to do things that keep us quote unquote comfortable. And I got to say, the comfort zone is not comfortable. It's familiar. So you're familiar with whatever life that you've got set up for you and whatever kind of financial situation you're in. Whether you like it or not, you're familiar with it. When you decide to change your financial reality, you have to do a lot of stuff you've never done before because everything you've done has gotten you to where you are now. So notice when you get an idea or you see a suggestion, somebody gives you a suggestion and it feels like it would move you in a great direction, but you're scared of it. That's an awesome sign that it's exactly what you need to do because it's outside your comfort zone. That's what the fear is telling you.
Needless to say, something that's outside your comfort zone, you're going to be afraid to go there because it is, by definition, not in your comfort zone.
Right.
How can you actually get yourself to take that first step? What's the number one thing a person should do when he decides he's going to make the change and now he's ready to do something? Other than buy your book, of course.
Well, a couple things. Stay focused on why you want to make that change. So instead of focusing on your fear, which is what so many of us have been trained to do, you focus on your why. Why do you desire this money? What are you going to spend it on? How is it going to make you feel to have it? What is that excitement around it? And that we are emotional creatures who are motivated by emotion. So tapping into that emotion on a regular basis as to why this is so important to you and exciting to you, that will help you push through the fear.
Where would a person go once, let's say, he realizes that he's got this problem? He says he's in his mind, he says, okay, I know why I want to have money. I know why I want to start saving for retirement. But now what do I do?
You get specific. So what do you want your retirement to look like? Where do you want to live? Who do you want to be surrounded by? How does that feel? How much does it cost? Get those specifics in place because without specifics, you can't work up the emotion because there's nothing to really attach to. So first, I'd say get clear on the specifics. Second, start going to the spiritual gym. I talk a lot about this in You Are a Badass at Making Money. Pick specific things that keep you energized. What music do you listen to while you're thinking about this retirement of yours? What self-help books are you reading to keep your mind fresh and excited and open to the possibility that this could be a reality for you? What action steps are you taking? What people are you surrounding yourself with? What are you going to actively participate in that is going to keep you on track to push through the fear so that you can create this retirement reality for yourself?
That's a great idea. I like the idea of getting specific. I say that also to people. They'll tell me, well, Doug, I want to make more on my investments. So then I say, why? They say, I want to retire safely. And I say, well, how much is it going to cost you to feel confident that you will be safe in your retirement, that you'll be able to pay the bills every month? And we really do try to drill down. But the interesting thing that I think you're adding here is this idea of getting excited and maintaining that excitement, which I think for when you talk about investing or 401k plans or retirement plans, it's kind of hard to get too excited about that. But you're suggesting to take things that otherwise excite you and combine them with something that maybe doesn't excite you?
Well, I don't know what's not exciting about a rockin' 401k plan. I mean, how about looking at...
Or a Roth IRA. I mean, those are awesome.
Hello, go look at the numbers in that every day and imagine them growing. I can get excited about that.
All right. I hear. So if you see the potential, it's not just the details of the saving, but it's really where it can take you. That's what's important. This, Jen, I think is a topic that you really talk about quite a bit. I think we're out of time, but I'd like to know in the last few seconds, how can people follow you and follow your work?
They can go to my website and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and it's all under my name. It's Jen Sincero, and Sincero is spelled like the word sincere. So it's JenSincero.com. That's my website. And then I'm Jen Sincero on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff.
It's awesome to have a pretty unique name. Jen, we will put links to all of that at the show notes of today's show at goldsteinongelt.com. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Thanks so much for having me.
You've been listening to the Goldstein on Gelt show with money maven Doug Goldstein. Check out all of Doug's money ideas at goldsteinongelt.com. Doug specializes in helping people who live outside the United States handle their U.S. investment accounts. If you have a question that you would like answered on the air or off, contact Doug at his website or send him an email to doug@profile-financial.com.